The NFL trade deadline is come and gone with only one significant move on the actual deadline day. However, there were some pretty significant moves throughout the season. I'm joined by NFL experts Brad Klier and Christian Carme, and we'll take some look at some blockbuster moves. So, Brad, we'll start with you. Jay Ajayi's shocking move to Philadelphia sparked a lot of reaction, and many feel that the Eagles committed daytime robbery to the Dolphins. But is this really a steal for the 8-1 team?
I think it is in this sense. You're a team going to win the Super Bowl. You can add a rusher who rushed for 800 yards last year, who's making $700,000 a year this year and next, and you have 3 fourth-round picks coming into this trade. You're basically paying less for Jay Ajayi than you would for a backup quality player that you would pick in the 4th round. For me, it's a clear win.
It's not a steal. I mean, they already have LeGarrette Blount.
So what? You're adding another talented player. Why would you not want to add as much talent as you can to win
I'm
the
just
Super
saying
Bowl?
that, like, the Dolphins and the Eagles both got some good things out of this. Like, the Dolphins, they got rid of Jay Ajayi.
And his $700,000 cap hit, and he's the best player at his position on the team.
Right. I mean, do you want to still be the mediocre Miami Dolphins continuing to just...
Jay Ajayi's going to make you mediocre continuously?
Okay. Well, do you want... Well, Jay Ajayi, do you want, like... They're not going to... The other NFL teams aren't going to, like, change the way they, like, play the Eagles. LeGarrette Blount, they're going to split time. LeGarrette Blount and Jay Ajayi are going to just split time.
Would you rather be playing Corey Clement or Wendell Smallwood or Jay Ajayi?
Jay Ajayi.
That's exactly why it's a win.
But it's not a steal. I mean, the Dolphins got what they wanted to do.
You can argue that. I would say a cheaper player than what you would be drafting at that spot would be a $900K cap hit. The quality of player in the mid-4th round is more likely than not to be a backup quality player. I would take Jay Ajayi over that, especially with how low.
Well, I would too, but that's not what they're trying to do.
Who's they?
The Dolphins. They're not trying to, like, be this mediocre team still. They wanted to get rid of Ajayi. Reports are coming out that he's not a great locker room guy there. He was kind of a little poisonous situation, especially what's going on with the quarterback situation. What they really should have done was gotten rid of Jarvis Landry and, like, just completely tanked. But they didn't. They got rid of Ajayi, which will make them a little worse of a team, which is good.
Well, Christian, we'll go to you. For Jimmy Garoppolo, he's finally been traded by the Patriots after a long ordeal of whether or not to hold on to him or succeed Tom Brady. But the 49ers acquired the quarterback for a second-round draft pick, and the question must be asked, is Jimmy G going to be the 49ers' longtime franchise quarterback, or is he not as good as his small sample size indicates?
I think he's going to be as good as the small sample size indicates. I think he's going to be the franchise quarterback. I don't know if he's going to be the franchise quarterback for the 49ers. Okay. His contract's going up. The 49ers can franchise him.
You don't think they made this trade with the intention of signing him long term?
Oh, I did, but he's an unrestricted free agent if they franchise him after next year. So we'll see. I think they did acquire him for him to be the franchise quarterback. I think they believe that he can be, but I'm not sure if he's going to be playing for the 49ers.
First, I completely agree with him being a franchise quarterback. You look at the tools you want in a franchise quarterback: size, arm strength, poise, can succeed under pressure. He did all of that last year in his small amount of games. Of course he's going to be there long term. The San Francisco 49ers are not giving up a pick that's basically the equivalent of the value of player you would get at the end of the 1st round, and a guy who is a long-term franchise quarterback type player without the intention of re-signing him or franchise tagging him twice. They have $100 million in cap space this coming summer. They have plenty of money at their disposal to spend on Jimmy G. And you look at it from a sheer value standpoint, if you're turning the 33rd or 34th pick into your franchise quarterback, it's a win regardless of the price.
Well, I agree with that, but if you're Jimmy Garoppolo, do you want, after they franchise you, when you're unrestricted free agent, do you want to be playing for the San Francisco 49ers?
Why not? You're the franchise quarterback. The entire team is built around you. You're the star moving
Okay, that's
forward.
fine, but there are plenty of teams who he would be an upgrade for, right?
Yeah, so he's going to be competing with Kirk Cousins for the money of those teams.
Great. I mean, he
Great. That's less money at his disposal to be. If there's 2 options, there's less teams going after him. If someone wants to go after him and his price,
but you know what Kirk Cousins is going to bring you. Jimmy Garoppolo has been coached by Bill Belichick. He's been in that complex system in any offense that he goes to. I don't want to say dumbed down.
He's not going anywhere besides the 49ers. I don't understand how this is a question here. The 49ers are not letting this guy go after trading such a significant amount for him. He is going to be signed long term.
You just said it was just a second-round pick.
I didn't say just. I said at that, it is a significant price for the 49ers. But at that price, a franchise quarterback does not come outside of the top 10 very often. It was worth the
Brad,
price.
That might be a head-scratching decision for some, but were there any head-scratching decisions that took place on deadline day, and what team has made the worst decision on the block?
Nope. None of them were head
None?
scratching. Nope, none. But if there were to be one, the reported trade that fell through for A.J. McCarron from Cincinnati to Cleveland for a second and third round draft pick. You're the Cleveland Browns in this rebuilding process. You do not pick or acquire the quarterback until he is the guy. When he is the guy, that's going to come in the top 5 of the draft with your first round pick. Second and third round pick is more than what it cost for Jimmy G. He's not that quality of player. He's not the long-term solution. That would have just been a short-term move to appease the ownership and the coaches and a terrible long-term asset management decision.
So in a way, it falling through was head scratching.
No, it falling through was a blessing in disguise. If it had gone through, it would have been a major head scratcher.
Christian, what about you? What was your worst decision?
That's definitely the head scratcher, but a trade that's like that is a head scratcher that was made is definitely, I think it's the New England Patriots. I think you could argue that letting go of Jimmy G, well, the Cleveland trade, it would have been a second and a third for A.J. McCarron. So why did they only get a second-round pick for Jimmy Garoppolo? He's a better player than A.J. McCarron, and they should, New England should have either franchised him, which is
it's not sustainable, though, because if you do, I would love the idea of putting Jimmy G behind Tom Brady to succeed him. But if you're paying Tom Brady over $25 million for his contract now, and Jimmy G, you're inevitably going to have to subtract something else.
But if he's the successor, they need to secure their future as a quarterback. Tom Brady's 40 years old.
As the successor, that might be in 3 years from now. That might be in 4 years. It's not sustainable. I would love for it to happen, but it's not just not smart.
Certainly
salary cap management.
Certainly a definitely surprising trade deadline day. But don't trade your attention away, as we'll be joined by our soccer experts to talk about the Champions League.